That reminds me, we haven't seen each other since the day of the president's address, Zeit. You left to follow Kia after Arios took her away, but I never did find out where that led you. Well, I pursued them as far as I could, but once the Divine Blade reached the lake, I was no longer able to follow. I wish that I could have done more for Lloyd and the others. That was when I returned to my old pack and began making preparations. That I ended up causing you undue concern, however, is something I regret in retrospect, Cecil. It's all right. What matters is that you're all safe. Zeit, that you're safe now, Zeit, the way Lloyd is. Not to mention, you've been helping him and Wazi in battle, so thank you for that. For some reason, I feel a lot more at ease whenever I'm with you, Zeit. I'm sorry, I should have asked before petting you like that. It didn't offend you, I hope. No, it was nothing unpleasant. He is still a dog, after all. Zeit is still a dog. Dogs like being pet. Did you hear the good news? Ilya and Inspector Donovan have both regained consciousness. It's been one piece of bad news after another lately. Hearing they've woken up was just the ray of light I needed to get me out of my slump. Well, that's nice. Yeah, Fran's packing her things. Notebook, Enigma, toothbrush. Oh, I have to finish saying goodbye to all the other patients and nurses, too. I think Fran needs a little more time to get ready. That's fine. We still have our own rounds to make, don't we? She's such a ding-dong, and I love her. Like, she's very endearing. Was it already time for the nurse to take your temperature again? Come on in. Pardon us? Oh, I'll be damned. Bannings, Hemisphere. What are you doing here? Well, it's great to see you again, Inspector Donovan. Well, who do we have here? A lovely lady friend of yours? We could always come back later if you would prefer a little privacy. I finally wake up after being in a coma for God knows how long, and this is how you greet me. Helios is watching, Father Wazi. This is Farah, Inspector Donovan's wife. She's been staying here at the hospital to help take care of him. It's nice to meet you two. Thank you for always helping out my Donnie. I've heard a lot about the SSS from him and Tio. You sound quite a motley group. Your praise honors me. I'm not sure that's what it was. Good thing you two are here, because I've got questions that need answering. Just what the hell is going on out there? Let me start from the beginning. Holy city of Arteria. Things are a lot more serious than I thought. The way it sounds, I'm guessing you'd be better off if HQ doesn't know anything about this little conversation. If you wouldn't mind. Well, it doesn't matter to me. Either way, I'm not the fugitive here. Fugitive? Never mind that. Inspector, has anyone from Crossbow City been in contact with you since you woke up? Raymond did come to visit, and he told me a little bit about what's going on. From what I gathered, the CPD's been consolidated into a new defense force as one of its lower branches. Their day-to-day is still the same for the most part, but they've basically been regulated to doing chores in the city. I assumed as much. That's the only way it could have gone, really. The way the president set things up. But hasn't there been any pushback? I mean, surely not everyone in the department is okay with this. I don't know about the Vice Commissioner Pierre, but I can't imagine Chief Sergei or Dudley are fine with it. Well, between you and me, it seems Sergei, Dudley, and Raymond and some folks of the Metropolitan Division are up to something. Of course they are. And what would that be? You didn't hear this from me. But they're biding their time, waiting for an opportunity to flip everything on its head. They're not the type to just roll over and take it all on the chin. Which means not all hope is lost. Yeah, but getting in contact is going to prove difficult. Let's leave the city to them for now. We need to work on breaking this deadlock another way from the outside of the barrier. Good call. You kids are fighting an uphill battle. But you know I'm rooting for you. Once I'm healthy, I plan to head back there and give Sergey and the boys a hand. Honey, if you must. But let your colleagues handle it for now. You need your rest first. I'm not letting you set 1 foot out of this hospital until you've made a full recovery. Do I make myself clear? Yes, dear. I've never heard anyone talk to him like this. The inspector is no match for his wife, as I've come to understand. Love comes in many forms. I would say Donny Boy is a lucky man. Indeed. There you guys are. Back in her uniform, looking as adorable as ever. You betcha. How do I look? Adorable. I miss seeing you in your uniform, Fran. Welcome back to the Force. I've missed it too. Were you visiting Inspector Donovan just now? Yeah, we just finished catching up. Are you going to do the same? That's right. I couldn't just leave him without saying goodbye. He saved my life during the raid. After all, I don't think I could ever thank him enough for that. We understand. You go do what you have to. We'll wait up. Thanks. I'll see you guys in a bit. She is an absolute treasure. Well, while she does that, why don't we go check in with Ilya? Sounds good. I wonder if I could have gone to Ilya first, and that would have been a different bit of dialogue. I'm going to have to check that between recordings. Looking as sultry as ever, Ilya. Who is it? You can come in. Please excuse us. Hello there, Tyr. Did you bring Well, but isn't my favorite little guy? And you're Wazi, right? I'll chalk that lapse up to the injury. It really has been a long time, Ilya. Sorry for a sudden visit. I didn't know we were going to get the chance to come see you. Don't be ridiculous, silly. You three take a seat and make yourselves comfortable. You're welcome to help yourselves to the sweets that fans have been sending me. The cookies shouldn't be too stale, I'm sure. Cookies acquired. That's very cute. I didn't realize just how tight of a spot you guys were in. It's crazy to think how far Crossbow has fallen in the time since the raid. Yeah. No one would blame you if you thought you were still dreaming right now. The frustration not being able to move my legs is sobering enough, thank you very much. If only I could walk out of here and see the state Arkansas is in with my own eyes. Ilya? About your condition. How is it looking? That. Dr. Silent told me that so far she doesn't know whether I'll ever be able to walk again. On the bright side, that means she didn't rule it out either. I thought that might be the case. Enough with the long faces, you two. Are you trying to bum me out? Listen here. If I become convinced that it's impossible for me to walk ever again, then it might as well be, right? This is no different than working on the stage. I have a goal to pursue the way I always have. No matter how painful or hopeless it might seem, as long as I've got the ray of hope, that's my spotlight at the end of the tunnel. So don't go giving up on me. I sure won't. You really are something else. Am I? I don't think I said anything out of the ordinary. Besides, I think what all of you are trying to accomplish is a lot harder than what I'm going through. Is it? Put into perspective, it's hard to ignore just how different our path is, how difficult our path is going to be. Then take a page from my book and don't shy away. People will do whatever it takes to fight for what matters most. I think that's what makes us human, no matter how much we differ in strength. Well put. Though I'll admit, I'm a bit greedier than most. good enough isn't good enough for yours truly. Still, I don't think I'm the only one like that. The same could be said of all our troop members, including Risha. Do me a favor. If you see her, there's a message I want you to pass along. What is it that matters most to you? Can you truly turn your back in the face of what you hold dear? Sure thing. I'll make sure Risha hears that if we manage to find her. I'll hold you to it. She's quite the character, isn't she? That fervent dancer moniker follows her when she's in no shape to dance. It would seem her role as the Sun Princess extends beyond the stage. I've had the chance to speak with her several times since I became stranded at the hospital. It would seem I have a challenge keeping myself tougher, if not for her and Cecil. I'm glad they were here then. That said, now we're going to have to track down Risha too. Easier said than done. That's going to come down to Adios, will, more likely than not. Should we head back and check on Fran? Yeah, she must be ready by now. But yeah, I'm going to have to see if there's different dialogue if you visit Risha, visit Ilya first. With Tio and Fran aboard, the team is now able to track wanted monsters and other requests along the highways from Merkaba's terminal. Ooh. Side quests! Might as well. New blind spot in the Septium Veins influence detected. I will relay you the data. Okie dokie. Coordinates identified. In the northeastern crossbelt near Armorica village. Impressive. These two are quite helpful. Plato's sensory receptivity is valuable in itself, but having a dedicated operator has raised the ship's overall efficiency as well. I'm still flying by the seat of my pants, honestly. Searching for places we can land will be much easier with you on the crew. So what now? Would you like to head down to the new landing point? Yeah. We should be able to confirm the situation in Armorica too. Full speed ahead. Destination Aromorican airspace. Course set. Maintaining high alert. I'm gonna guess somebody's gonna be in mains. Going to the gates is just not a good idea. So I wonder who's going to be in a quaint little country town. Ooh, that's a lot more pleural in the grass. How is that a blind spot? Look what's happened to their lotus fields. Yeah, there's nothing but pleroma grass now as far as the eye can see. This must be a byproduct of Kia's awakening. So, are there any cryptids nearby? I do not sense any for the moment. Wish to be able to use that warp circle without fear of attacking. I see. You've been through quite a whirlwind these past few weeks. I have to say, you really gave me a scare walking in with that wolf of yours. Sorry about that. My apologies. It was not my intention to frighten you. That's alright. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that I'd have the honor of meeting with the divine wolf of legend in person. Thankfully, the Defense Force has largely ignored our village. You'll be safe here. Feel free to stay as long as you need. We appreciate that. Seconded. Thank you for your hospitality. There are many people back at the hospital who were critical of President Croiss's actions. From what I can tell, he hasn't exactly received the warmest reception here either, has he? Well, our village has always had a tenuous connection to the state's more bureaucratic matters. Even after independence was declared, I can't say it stoked much of a response from us. Though I will say that our harvests have been down thanks to the appearance of those cryptids. And as I mentioned, the Defense Force seldom ventures here, so you can expect they haven't been much help to us. Sorry about that. Their negligence is shameful. Those who dwell in the city have always been ignorant of their fellow men in these outlying settlements. That is the goddamn truth. Not only are they ignorant of people outside the city, they're outright resentful of people outside the cities. City trash are just fucking trash. Just because you live in a city doesn't mean you're city trash. But there's absolutely city trash who just has nothing but resentment for people outside their shithole concrete jungle bullshit. However, the degree to which they have taken their election is inexcusable. Indeed, if I may be frank, I have a hard time seeing myself falling in line with the president's ambitions. That said, the opinion of our little village is nothing compared to the masses of the city. To tell you the truth, we're rather lost in the weeds about all of this. Understandable. We'll keep an eye out for any cryptids while we're here. Aside from that, have you had any other pressing issues? I would hope that the situation hasn't stirred up any civil unrest among the villagers. Not at all. Thankfully, things haven't come to that. The village has pulled together to see itself through with this crisis as best we can. Having Harold and his family here to help us have been a real godsend too. Oh, Harold's here. Mr. Hayworth. He came here with his wife and child then. That's right. They arrived just before the barrier went up. Travel restrictions were put into place on the highway soon after, so they've been lodging here ever since. That makes sense. The Hayworths are staying on the second floor of the Ash Tree Inn. You're welcome to pay them a visit if you'd like. I'll have to do exactly that, although I want to see if there's any requests I can make use of. Ursula Road, Armorica Road. Oh, yeah, there's 4 monster exterminations. Ursula Road, a dangerous monster. Org Virage has been sighted on the Ursula Road. Okay. One on the old Armorica Road. One on the Maine's Mountain Path. And one on the West Crossbell Highway. But I have plenty of time to do this. Well, since I'm at Armorica anyway... I can go ahead and do that really quick. Yeah, I already did that. Oh, cool. Said the old Armorica Road. I think this is Mr. Hayworth's oval car. This would be a Vern model. He gave us a ride in it after the first time we visited the village. The village chief said his family is staying in the second floor of the inn. Well, we do still need more information. It's gonna make me visit Hayworth first. Give me a break. I want to go kill monsters! Let's go check on the squirts. All Camille can talk about anymore is Colin. It's not fair. Camille's my brother, not his. Mr. Haywood brought his kid here with him a few weeks ago. It's kind of like I have a little brother now, too. I gotta watch his back since I'm the older one. And your sister's jealous of that. Mr. Hayworth told us that his family is going to be staying at the Ash Tree Inn for a while. It's just like when me and my mom moved here. Everyone from Armorica is really nice and welcoming. Can I get a crossbell times? Yes. I'll take a look at that. I'll go and take a look at that. As we move the 1-month anniversary of President Croiss's Declaration of Independence, the initial wave of confusion is just now beginning to subside. We'd like to take a moment to examine the changes ushered in by Crossbell's leadership over the previous month. Immediately following the declaration, the Imperial and Republican governments denounced Crossbell's independence. After waiting out a 24-hour ultimatum, both nations advanced their armies into Crossbell. The Empire's armored divisions forced their way through Bellegarde Gate, and the Republic's armored aviation divisions paved the way for their ground forces. Both armies then moved to invade Crossbell City. However, both advances were stopped by Aeons, cutting-edge archaisms under the command of the newly independent state. Even the nefarious railway guns mounted at Guerrilla Fortress by the Empire were neutralized by the mighty Aeons upon taking aim at Crossbell City. In order to safeguard Crossbell's peace and autonomy, the CDF was deployed a new defensive mechanism that uses powerful orbital waves to create a protective barrier around Crossbell City. Officials say it will protect the people of the city from all external assaults. Not everyone is entirely satisfied, however. Some are concerned that travel will take longer on account of the Defense Force's permit system, while others are concerned that the towns outside the barrier are being left defenseless. Neither the Defense Force nor the state government elected to answer any questions on the topic. A few days ago, the independent state government announced its plan to form a continental alliance. 4 nations have already agreed to join. The initial members of the United Nations will sign on to the alliance in the coming months. Because the organization promises to prohibit acts of war while guaranteeing open international trade, the prospective partnership has guaranteed a favorable public opinion. Oh, do I really want to give my opinions on the UN right now? I'll give you the TLDR of my opinions of the United Nations. They're absolutely fucking worthless. The Holy City of Arteria has made its first official statement regarding Crossbell's independence, in which the papacy simply stated that it would continue to monitor the situation in western Zumeria. A PR official of the independent state claims that the Kingdom of Liberl and Principality of Rumeferia have, for all intents and purposes, respected the will of the people and acknowledged Crossbell's sovereignty. The Republican government has issued a series of financial reforms, but as borrowers continue to default on their loans, the economic turmoil in the country will only further escalate. International companies operating out of Calvert also have begun to feel the effects of the recession. To compound the issue, many civilians were also harmed in a reactionary bus bombing just yesterday morning. Nothing like good old-fashioned terrorism to get things going, isn't that right? And then, of course, there's the full-blown civil war in Erebonia. Just days ago, Gileath Osborne, blood and iron chancellor and central figure of the Empire, was shot by an assassin. The reformist faction has pledged to fight to the bitter end to avenge their leader, indicating no end in sight to their civil conflict against the noble faction. Droves of Imperial citizens are attempting to flee to the country and escape the flames of war. We will continue reporting on this story as more information comes in. Yeah, this game really, really wants to paint Gileath Osborne in a negative light. And it's not that hard to see why. But they want to paint Gileath Osborne and his reformers in a negative light. Meanwhile, Cold Steel 1 and 2 paint them both in a far more favorable light. Showing that, while he is a very imposing man, He is noble and respectful, though he is not of noble birth. He's like just a noble person. He's a good person doing bad things. I like the nuance they put into their political statements in this game. That's what I really like about the Trails franchise. The Defense Force considers hoarding restrictions in response to citizens' continued efforts to stockpile groceries and daily necessities. The Crossbelt Defense Force has expressed that a sufficient quality of goods are being distributed within the city and urged citizens not to hoard necessities without reason. That means you need to stockpile and stock up on canned goods and dry goods because you are fucked. Reportedly, the independent state government is in possession of an emergency reserve of 5 years' worth of food and supplies, with some of which is already being dispersed in major grocers. The Defense Force is considering regulating private stockpiles in the event that distributions regarding the issue do not diminish. In other words, I am going to take your shit and there's nothing you can do about it. That's why you stockpile and you keep it to your fucking self. Colin here is just too cute. Those big puppy dog eyes and adorable smile are too much. I bet he's going to grow up to be so handsome just like his father. Those Defense Force guys skeeve me out. They got this high and mighty, you need us vibe whenever they come around the village. Was changing from the CGF to the CDF really that big a deal? On this one, there they are. He's got them big old blue eyes. Yeah, excuse me. Wow, look at that big puppy doggy. He has his mother. The boy definitely resembles his mother, which is actually pretty common in genetics. Well, what a surprise. Is that you, Lloyd? Thank goodness you're alright. It's good to see you, Mr. Hayworth. Big doggy. Would that child be referring to me? I consider it an apt description. Who says a divine wolf can't double as a cutesy-wootsy puppy dog? I can't tell you how concerned I was when I first heard you were arrested, Lloyd. And then to find out that you became a fugitive on top of that, it's no small relief that you're safe now. Sorry for worrying you. Is it just you three right now? Where are the other SSS members? We were separated due to unfortunate circumstances. As of yet, we have no leads on the locations of the rest of our team. I'm sorry to hear that. From what I've heard, from what we heard, the three of you were out here at the time the barrier went up around the city. That we were. We didn't have the slightest clue what was happening that day. Strict travel restrictions have been in place ever since, so we've been unable to return to the city. I don't know what we would have done without the hospitality of the villagers. The innkeeper has been gracious enough to let us stay here until the restrictions are lifted. And the children of the village have been very friendly toward Colin as well. Yeah, me, Camille, and Pulley play together a whole lot. You should hang out with us next time too, Mr. Doggy. I shall consider it. I appreciate that. In any case, I've been doing whatever I can to repay the village for its kindness. My area of expertise isn't good for much at the moment, apart from negotiating with the CDF when they visit on patrol. No need to sell yourself short. That task is important as any, given the situation. The villagers are likely much better off with a skilled trader being their point of contact. I'll take your word for it. I just remembered something. I heard something from the Defense Force that might interest you. And what might that be? They say an unidentified rebel group has been active in the area. Apparently several Defense Force units have already been attacked. They have, really. All things considered, I'm surprised anyone has the stones to do that. It's probably Randy. Or maybe it's that defector Sigmund mentioned earlier. It would be preferable if we knew who they were, but this is welcome information all the same. We should look into this. Mr. Hayward, do you have any idea where the rebels were last sighted? I was told their base of operations is centered upon the ancient battlefield right off Old Armorica Road. The CDF has already been patrolling the area. The ancient battlefield of Armorica, the locus of immeasurable bloodshed, and as well as the cult's former stronghold. The ruins there hold numerous hidden passages. They would make an ideal hideout for a band of insurgents. Wandering in there may be dangerous. Let's make sure we're prepared before we leave the village. Yeah, should probably buy a few healing items. And besides, there's a monster I want to go hunt. So, off to the ancient battlefield then. We may not know who these rebels are, but I think it's something worth finding out. They may be willing to work with us. I agree. I wonder if it's CGF soldiers who aren't too keen on turning Crossbell into a totalitarian state. Yeah, there's my monster is just down the fucking path. What the fuck are you? An ancient reptile monster. It increases its strength by roaring. It's weak to fucking everything. Level 82. Fuck.
Yes.
But everyone's in very comparable levels to that, so I guess it's not that all bad. Did I not get this? Apparently not. Some new material. Seemingly confident with this decision, Cyril gave the chest a light but defiant tap on its lid and excited the room. This is the right way to go about it, he thought as he went to rap up Genevieve's door. Rap on Genevieve's door. It is. Okay. It's a fiend. Well, let's do it. An onyx gem. Let me take a look at that. Might be worth it to go and give you Crow back. Oh, you had Heaven's Eye. I want that back. Reduces movement, but having move 2 will basically negate that. Does increase speed, so yeah, we're going to do that. He already has a Heaven's Eye equipped. Okay. I guess that'll do. I can use healing items to get everyone's health back to what I want. The question is, do I want to go ahead and go to the ancient battlefield, or do I want to go get that? You know, I'll go to the ancient battlefield, and then I'll be able to go to the Ursula Road monster. They're long quests, so I've got plenty of time. I'm going for 40 minutes. There's Paloma grass growing all the way out here. Hardly surprising considering that this is where the cult decided to set up shop. According to what Mr. Hayworth told us, the defense force has been ambushed here multiple times. I'm detecting lingering scents in the air, though their sources have concealed themselves. I cannot identify them exactly, but I can assure you that they are not to be trifled with. Well, I'm going to end this one here. Thank you all for watching. Join me next time on Trails to Azure as we track down our group of insurgents. But until then, I'm the TheDarkSeraph, signing off. Goodbye. Subscribe or I'll take a shit on your windshield.